Braveheart versus Patriot. Or is it The Patriot? I'm not sure. If you're deciding between these two movies, maybe this will help, or maybe this is going to be useless. But let's talk about these two movies. So, two Mel Gibson movies. Braveheart is in the 90s, from the 90s, and Patriot, it came out in the 2000s, but it's still very much Mel Gibson in the 90s based. They're both wild movies that make Mel Gibson look like the ultimate hero. But I have a deep fondness for revolutionary history. I love that period of world history, and I love that period of American history, the U.S. Revolution. So I much rather watch something about the Revolution, to learn about the Revolution, rather than watching something about Scottish history, because I'm not much of a Scottish history fan, right? I'm very interested in the U.S. Revolution. Now, the U.S. Civil War, for some reason, I'm not interested in that at all. But the U.S. Revolution is just a particularly interesting genre of history for me. It's a particularly interesting time in history, and specifically in that time in the U.S., wild and amazing things were happening, and just there's something about it. It's just so interesting to me. It's hard to explain, but I don't feel the same way about the Civil War and Civil War history. Um, so I'm predisposed to liking the Patriot, but the fact that it doesn't touch on any of the important things in history at all, it kind of negates that, right? It could have included some historical things or educational things more, right? You can watch The Patriot and almost learn nothing about the American Revolution, which is sad, right? Because it's such a great movie. They should have. Eh, it's an important thing to talk about the history as well, not just the movie. I guess it's mainly meant for people that are not really into the historical aspect too much. Of course, Mel Gibson, and it's just more about, you know, the theater of it. I guess in the same way, you know, Braveheart is not for people who are into Scottish history. It's supposed to be a super broad, appealing movie, right? A movie with incredibly broad appeal. Um, so the situation the situation is that both of these movies are excellent, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Braveheart. It's just a more epic, more wild, more crazy movie. I think it aged incredibly well, and I think it's just an incredibly exciting and wild movie. Now, it's almost 30 years old now, so it's a seriously dated movie. But I think that it just gives you a lot more. Braveheart's just going to give you a ton more. That movie. I don't want to, you know, don't want to say it's way better than Patriot, but I'd say it's quite a bit better than Patriot, and I think Patriot is an excellent movie. I really think that's an excellent movie. I know some people bag on Patriot and they think that it's not one of Mel Gibson's greatest, but I like it. I like it quite a bit, but I really like Braveheart. I mean, Braveheart is just, it's got to be in the top 10 for sure. And maybe it ekes its way into the top 5 for me. Maybe.